to the Best Ever Podcast. I am your host, Tru Sav, out here live from the streets of Oconda, California. We're on the road again. The missus is at the house taking up all of the space. So we have moved to the streets. The man of the streets, out here live and direct. I'm trying to pay attention, but there is a homeless guy that has no toes right now. He's in a wheelchair, his foot is bandaged up, and my man has no toes. Not only that, but he's talking to a man that has on a yellow bathrobe. See, I know y'all be like, this motherfucker Tru Sav be making shit up. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a video of it right now, and you're going to be able to hear me talking in the video. So when I post this, you're going to be like, damn, he really was telling the truth. All right. That's enough, because now they're starting to look at me. Okay, so, whoo, Lord have mercy. We've made it another week, y'all. We've made it another week. Quarantine 2020, y'all. The new norm. Things have kind of calmed down now. Got the non-essentials out there trying to feel essential again. Hey, I'm not going to lie, though. I haven't missed you non-essentials. I'm not even going to front. The speed limit on the freeway has changed. I just, really quickly, I went to go visit Mom's the other day. I was bored. I didn't have anything to do. I thought, let me slide to Sacramento real quick. First of all, it usually takes about an hour and 20 minutes on a good day. Boy, it took like 50 minutes. I was in the slow lane. Now, I'm a slow lane driver. I'm not in the rush. I don't got nothing to do. I don't got nowhere to go. I'm in the right lane doing like 65. I'm chilling. This time, I was in the right lane doing 80. And motherfuckers were flying by me. Just, it was NASCAR out there. But I mean, it was cool because there was no other drivers on the road. Everyone who was out there while they were speeding was driving safely. Like, no one was swerving lane to lane. It was a nice, constant speed. I don't know if I want things to go back to normal. I made it to SAC in less than an hour, and I made it back from there in less than an hour. No traffic, no accidents. I'm just saying, man. I mean, the status quo and da-da-da-da-da and all that, people got to get back to normal. But I don't know, man. I kind of liked it. I don't know if I want y'all to come back. Nah, I'm just playing. Of course, I want you guys to come back. I want it to go back to normal. Because this is too much, y'all. We already know, though. Oh, let's see. Another exciting news. Some interesting things happened at the grocery store owned by Amazon. They finally decided to put pimping in a real position of power, boy. They didn't put your boy up there in the upper echelon of players. So now instead of being the little fuddy-duddy department lead that I used to be, now they didn't put your boy as store manager. So now when I get to talk to the little employees, I get to be like, look at me. I am the captain now. Nah, I don't be doing people like that. I try to stay out of the way. I try to tell them, like, look, I love being here as much as you love being here. I love working just like you like working. But I'm not here to try to press you, fam. I'm not here to try to make you scrub the floor with a toothbrush or do some kind of back-breaking work. Like, that's not what the game's about. I'm just chilling. I'm just trying to enjoy my time at work like you're trying to enjoy your time at work. And with that, I had thought about that because I honestly hadn't even thought about applying for the little store manager thing. Like, I was content picking up my little boxes, going home, doing whatever. And a couple of my coworkers had been like, why don't you? Like, you'd be perfect, this and that. I was like, I'm chilling. I'm not even really trying to do all that. And so after some, I don't even know how to describe it. After they harassed me for weeks upon weeks, I finally was like, all right. So I talked to dude, applied, and lo and behold, I got the job. Or the promotion, I should say. So I had bought thank you cards. I bought some thank you cards. I knew they had a particular taste for a certain poison. So I had bought that. And the reactions were mixed. I don't know why I was surprised. I'm not, again, like I said a million times before, I'm not very good at accepting compliments. Like when people are like, oh, you did a great job, or this was amazing, or you did that amazing, like I just don't know how to respond. Which is the irony of this is that I'm all about gift giving. I'm all about positive reinforcement. I'm all about telling people, you're the shit and I know it. But then in return, I can't accept a compliment. And it's really strange. And when I gave them their little thank you cards and presents and whatnot, they kind of had the same response that I would have had, like, well, what is this for? Like, what does this mean? Like, well, what can I get you? And it's like, no, like, I don't want anything. And it's like, now I know how people feel when it's like you do something nice and then like I try to do something back. Like, no. That's not the way the game goes. But I don't know, I was thinking about I was thinking about that because again, like I'm always trying to fix the little oddities that I have, or I shouldn't say oddities, my little personal oh my gosh, I have no words today. You know what it is? It's Cinco de Mayo. I'm mad as fuck because I'm not supposed to be here, and my vocabulary is off today. But yeah, I know that I have a hard time accepting compliments, so I try to work on that. I try to be like, okay, thanks, I appreciate that, but I have a really hard time accepting a compliment. But we will talk about that a little later because that's Cinco de Mayo is a very important day, and I will tell you why. Just give me a second. Another quarantine-related news, really quickly. There's some funny things that have happened like over the last week. I mean, obviously, as we all know, things are starting to get back to normal. There are a couple of states who decided, fuck it, we're gonna risk it all, and we're just gonna send people back out there. I mean, I find the irony of it that a lot of them are Midwestern states, also known as flyover states, that probably need the money. They need their economy to open back up. That's understandable. But I mean, they have a map that they had released that showed all of the states, and I think it was like Wisconsin. What is it? Wisconsin, Michigan, Arkansas, Florida. I think Maine, maybe like Ohio, like some of those serious Midwestern states. And then I know all the coasts. We were like, nah, you're tripping, buddy. You're just gonna have to rock. We're still on timeout. But I mean, even with that, oh my goodness. I thought about that because they are serious about this face mask thing now. Like now face masks are required out here. If you want to go into a store, well, at least in the Bay Area, what is it? Alameda, Marin, whatever the case. San Jose, San Francisco, Oakland, Petaluma, Santa Rosa. You want to go into a store? You got to have a mask on. With no questions asked. Like if you don't have a mask, you can't come in. I keep forgetting about this whole mask situation. So what I ended up doing, because I'm ingenuitive and I'm super smart, I just wrap my do-rag around my face. And I'm not going to lie, the do-rag is 1,000 times more comfortable than anything I could put on my face. It's nice and silky. It's breathable. Those other ones, ugh. There's a cloth one that I wear at work. Disgusting. There's like the white one with the blue thing, the medical one, disgusting. Like it's just, they're not comfortable. It's hot in that motherfucker. It's like, I don't understand. Oh. So last week, I threw a question out there. How do you tell your coworker their breath stinks? And I thought about it and I milled it over, and I finally came to the conclusion that that's not my business. And I say that because sometimes the better part of valor is discretion. And sometimes there's just certain things that no matter how you say them, no matter what your intention is, it's going to end up badly. Like it's going to be fucked up. Like there's no real right way to tell somebody their breath stinks. And there's no point in even trying to say it, because it could be misconstrued, and it's just an entire hassle. Like it's funny. I thought about that because I'd read this quote, I should say, And the quote was, "We judge people by their actions. We judge people by their actions, but we judge ourselves by our intentions." And I was like, that was deep. Because you're quick to be like, oh, well, this person did this person said that. But then when it's you and someone's saying, well, why did you do it? Oh, well, I only meant it in the best way. And it's like, aha. So I learned my lesson, and I just didn't even bring it up. It's not even something to really talk about anymore. I mean, we all kind of know, but whatever. And then I came to a realization. My breath stinks too. I was wearing the mask one day, and I'm just sitting there minding my business. I'm talking, and I smell my mask, and I'm like, what is that smell? Something fucking stinks. And I go, oh, it's me. My breath was on fire also. So, to resolve that, I just keep a packet of Altoids in my pocket. Every day at work, I have a pack of Altoids. Maybe every other hour or something, pop in some Altoids. It's something that I don't even really think about. And again, as upset as I was that this person sprayed me with their dragon breath, I'm pretty sure someone has said the exact same thing about me. Like, why is he leaning in to talk to me with this breath that is hotter than Maldor? I think that was a Lord of the Rings reference, if I can remember right. I don't remember. But yeah, I mean, stuff like that, this isn't your business. Unless it's a close personal friend, I wouldn't even attempt something like that. I'll just leave it alone. You know, I mean, if they figure it out, they figure it out. But I wouldn't want to be in that situation with having to tell someone something like that. Something as embarrassing, potentially as embarrassing as that. So I don't know. Now with this face mask situation, there's always the good and the bad. I get it. They want you to be safe, whatnot. Oh. But my favorite thing is the people who wear the face mask in the car by themselves. Who are you protecting yourself from? I digress. The good part is everyone's got their mask on. It makes people feel safe, blah, 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 blah. But what I've noticed they're also doing is it keeps homeless people out of the store. Because if you don't have a mask, you can't come in. Now, you can always, what is a mask is up in the air. If you wrap your t-shirt around your face, is that a mask? If you have a turtleneck and you flip the turtleneck up, is that a mask? Like, what exactly has to be covered? Like, does your nose have to be covered? Can it be underneath your nose? Like, when I wear the do-rag part, like, it covers my nose, but it, like, hangs over. Like, there's so many nuances to it. And I've already seen a couple fights. We've had a couple incidents at the grocery store owned by Amazon. And in the news recently, apparently, people are feeling that they're being profiled. And that's causing some issues. I think in Detroit or in Michigan. I think in Michigan, a security guard just got shot because he told someone they couldn't come in because they didn't have a mask on. The person left, went and got another family member or close friend. They came back and killed dude. Yes, they came back and killed the security guard because he told her she couldn't come in because they didn't have a mask on. Like, that's scarier than anything else they got going on. Like, now is that gonna be the deal? You ain't got no mask, so that's how the fight starts, and then it's like I don't even want to think about it. It's something else. Like, if it's not one thing, it's another. Just when you start to think they work out the kinks and we could just kind of have some semblance of normalcy, that is not what's going on. But yeah, oh my goodness. They also, another interesting thing with this whole privilege situation. So now people who are tired of being cooped up in the house have gone to the streets. They've gone to protesting. In Michigan, I think a couple of those Midwest states. I don't want to say the wrong states. In the Midwest, they are protesting by showing up to the state capitol with weapons and saying, you can't make us stay in the house. This is tyranny, yada, yada, yada. I'll skip the whole, if they were black or brown, they wouldn't. I mean, that's a given. We know that. That's not the point I'm making here. I do think it does remind me, especially being in Oakland, it does remind me of a time back in, what was it, 19, when was the Panthers? Early 60s? I want to say 65, 66, when a small group, known as the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense, came to the Capitol in Sacramento with loaded weapons, protesting protesting for equal rights, so on and so forth. And the government reacted with the Mulford Act. Because originally it was legal to carry a loaded firearm in your car, so whatever, shotgun, rifle, whatever the case may be, it was lawful to carry it because it was under the fishing game. It was under that in the 50. It was under the fishing game, said you could carry a loaded weapon. So the Mulford Act basically said that it was illegal to carry a loaded firearm in your vehicle. So I thought that was an interesting response. I mean, back in the 60s. So now you have militiamen, I guess, ready at a moment's notice to show up and protest, and not a peep. But people are getting killed at the store for not wearing masks and so on and so forth. I don't know. I don't want to delve into the intricacies of that. That's a whole other conversation that I don't want to have. But what's most important is that today is Cinco de Mayo. I don't have the audio to add the little drum or the trumpet and stuff, so you just got to imagine that I just did the little samba music. You're going to say Tru Sav, it's not Mexican Independence Day. Mexican Independence Day is September 16th. I know that. I know. That's not the point. The point is, Cinco de Mayo is the day I was supposed to be in Puerto Rico. I'm not even supposed to be here right now. This is supposed to be a pre-recorded show that I just press play on from the deck. I should be on the Lido deck right now. No, excuse me. I shouldn't be in the Lido deck. I should be in Puerto Rico at our all-inclusive hotel. So I think that's why I messed up, because I'm not even supposed to be here. And again, with the cruise, you have to pay a year in advance. So this time last year, we were paying for this cruise. This is the only thing I'm upset about with Quarantine 2020. Everything else I can deal with. Like, oh, okay, we can't go out. Okay, no toilet paper. All right. Me missing my time to sunbathe in the Puerto Rican sun. Missing all of the lovely things that they have to... Oh, my goodness. It hurts my head to even think about. I am glad we did go to Hawaii, though. Because if we wouldn't have gone to Hawaii, I would be kind of salty. The plan was... so I can look at my itinerary that we're not going on. The plan was to fly. We were supposed to fly out of Sacramento this morning at like 6 in the morning and take that god-awful flight to Puerto Rico. We had booked a hotel for 3 days because the cruise leaves out of Puerto Rico. So we had figured we'll book the hotel, stay out there for 3 days, go to see the little nightlife, whatever, get the most out of it, and then the ship would leave on, what's today? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It would leave Friday. We were going to St. Lucius, St. Kitts, St. Croix. I want to say Falmouth, Jamaica again. And I can't remember the other two. Basically, it was 7 days, 8 nights with 7 stops or 6 stops. But I know there was no sea days. There wasn't a day where we were just out in the ocean because they had added a stop. So I was like, oh, we're going to touch down to 7 different things in the Caribbean. I'm going to come back with a 10. I'm probably met some people in Puerto Rico because originally we were supposed to meet Cardi B and Offset because, she's from Puerto Rico. So we were supposed to meet them down there, and she had something set up. We were supposed to meet her little family and stuff. But that's another conversation for another time. So, of course, Royal Caribbean, I think they gave us like 150% refund. But what they didn't tell us was that we ended up getting refunded less money because we had paid for it on the cruise. And if you pay for it on the cruise, it was like a buy one, get one. So like if you pay for one person, the other person goes free. Plus they took some money off because, You did it on the cruise. It was something. It was janky though, but I mean, it's cool. I'll take 150% of something that I didn't do. Who else did I have to cancel? I had to cancel Southwest flights, so they were cool. I mean, they gave us credit. I mean, whatever. So I mean, it wasn't a complete. Yes, it was. It was a complete wash. I'm not even gonna front. I was hurt. I was. I don't know. There's something about that sun closer to the equator, boy. That food just hits a little different when you out there with them Caribbean rays hitting the sun. Oh my goodness. Speaking of the Caribbean rays, I just changed the thumbnail for the Best Day Ever podcast. We had a vote off, and the ayes have it. I'm gonna change the little logo thing. Everyone kept saying I don't look like that in the picture anymore. That picture looks hella ghetto, so I need to change it. So I'm changing it. Fine, you guys win. Congratulations. We also voted on the new logo, the actual like Tru Sav signature part. So we got that. We got a logo. All I need is the main character. I'm still trying to get these people to draw this main character, and people just do not want money. As you know what? As a matter of fact, I had a lot of irons in the fire in the last couple of weeks, and dealing with these different artists and stuff. And I understand it. It's an art, not a science. Drawing, especially drawing characters, and you're trying to get a specific feel to characters and stuff. I completely understand. So I'm always willing to work with artists. Like I said, I can't do it. I can barely draw a stick figure. So if the artist says they need more time, the artist needs more time. It's fine with me. So I had paid, because the way that this website works is you pay first, and it goes into a pool, whatever, and then when the artist is done, they get paid. But in my mind, like, I've already gave you the money because I've already paid you. You just need to complete the work, and there you go, you'll be paid. So I had, I think, maybe 7 characters that I needed done. So I talked to the guy ahead of time. I explained it to him. This is what I need. This is what I want it to look like. I like your little drawing style. Go ahead, do your thing. So he said, okay, it should take me like 12 days, which is 2 weeks. So I'm like, all right, whatever, fine. Time goes by. Didn't really hear from him, which was different. Because usually the artist will go back and forth with you. They'll be like, hey, here's a sketch. This is my next one. This is the sketch. Well, I didn't hear from him. So maybe on day 8 or 9, I finally get an email, and he says, hey, I haven't had time to start. I'm in Italy, and the quarantine is a little different out here. Like, where you're at is where you're at. Like, you can't leave. So I'm like, okay, I understand. This is a very difficult time. So that's fine. But I have no problems. This was on he had contacted me on a Saturday, or maybe it was a Friday. It was a Friday, and he was saying, okay, it's Friday. By Monday, I should have some sketches of everything. I'll let you know how far I get. So, okay, fine, no problem. So Monday comes, and he asked for an extension. He asked for 2 more days. Oh, no problem. Fine, whatever. I was like, well, hey, it's Monday. On Friday, you said you were doing whatever. Can I see some sketches? Like, how far are you? What does it look like? He must have showed me 3 sketches that looked like they took about 20 minutes. And that's not a critique on the particular art style. It's just, it looks, from seeing all of these different people do all this different stuff, it looked like it took you 20 minutes. Which would have been fine. Like, I liked the direction it was going. But again, I was like, you've had since Friday, and it's now Monday, and you're asking for more time, and this is all you did in 3 days? Oh, well, this and this and this. So I've already accepted the thing for 2 days. And the more I thought about it, I was like, you know what? I don't even want to deal with this. Like, it was like $300. It wasn't like it was $40, $50. So I'm like, well, come on, bro. Like, you don't even want this money. Like, what are you doing? If you're on quarantine, you ain't got nothing to do, and I'm asking you to do something that's super simple, you should have just took this money and ran. But I mean, it happens. Sometimes people sign up for artwork that they know they can't do, and they try to just kind of BS you in the payday. And I was just like, look, man, you've had 14 days and you've come up with three sketches. Like, we're just going to have to go a different direction. Like, I appreciate the time that you spent. I appreciate your situation, but we're just going to have to go a different direction. And he seemed cool with it. He just canceled the order, so the money just got refunded to my little account. So I just really went silly and started just paying people to do little odd jobs here and there. But that was so man, you artists. Not all of you, but some of you. Like, this is a hassle, trying to get these characters done and logos and. I know, right? I keep saying that I don't want things to be complicated, but then I complicate them more myself. I know. Well, nothing too exciting happened this week, but I was thinking about, while I was crying myself to sleep, thinking about the trip that will never be. I wanted to go to Puerto Rico, and there was the Eastern Caribbean too, and that, you know what? Let me stop because it's just gonna make me sad. I was thinking about just vacationing in general and how often, like, people go out and travel. Like, the world is a big place, but it's a small place at the same time. Like, I didn't realize until I left Sacramento how much I was missing. Like, to me, I thought Sacramento was the best place in the world. I knew everyone there. I knew where everything was. Like, that was my world. That was my little pond. And then when I moved to Bakersfield, it was like, oh, so you mean, like, there's other people in other cities living their life? Just, like, not even knowing that I'm existing? Now, don't get me wrong. Of course I know that there's other people living in other cities, but it's one thing to go visit or go on vacation. It's another thing when you move to another city and the high schools are different. The culture is different. It's like, oh, everyone asks, well, oh, what high school did you go to? Did you go to North? Did you go to Stockdale? Did you go here? It's like, nah, I'm from Sacramento. What? Where's that? What? You don't know where Sacramento is? Nah. And it just kind of, it reminded me how insignificant we are sometimes. Like, you would like to think that, oh, I'm the most important person in the world and I've got all these big plans and all these things, but in the grand scheme of things, you're just a grain of salt in the, oh my gosh, what is that? A grain of salt in the watch glass of time. Oh, that was deep. I like that one. I'm going to rewind that one. So yeah, it was, because I didn't really travel when I was younger. I mean, let me rephrase that. I have been, let's see, I've been to, we'll chronicle it. We'll do it. Before I met my wife, I had been to Germany, Africa, specifically Zimbabwe, New York, Washington, Vegas, LA, Tahoe, the regular shit. Santa Cruz, everybody been to Santa Cruz. Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk in the warm California sun. What is that? Bring a Pepsi can, get like $3 off or something. We all remember those commercials from back in the day. Oregon. I've been to Brookings, Oregon. That was amazing. That's another story. We'll do a vacation show one day. all the fun places we traveled. And that's it. Yeah. I wasn't really well traveled. My passport didn't have too many stamps on it. And I hadn't left the country. I've never been to Canada. No, I've still never been to Canada. I don't even think they'll let me in right now. They're like, you're a criminal. So to me, and then vacation, like, that was something. Vacation was something that rich people did. 'Cause, I mean, again, we were painfully middle class. But I didn't understand. Like, to me, we just didn't do it. Like, I think the first vacation, quote unquote, that I went on with my family was like, we went to Disneyland, I think. I was in like maybe fifth, sixth grade. Yeah, something like that. We went to Disneyland. I took another friend of mine with us. It was, jeez, my mom, my aunt, her daughter, my sister, and my friend. We were all in the Volvo station wagon, and we drove to Disneyland. We were at, what was it? We had one hotel room. Of course, the adults got the bed. The kids had to share. Well, no. The adults got the bed. My mom and sister slept on the bed. My aunt and sister slept on, or my aunt and cousin slept on the bed. And me and dude had to sleep on the floor. Which is whatever. We weren't tripping. We were fifth grade boys. We didn't care. And we went to, of course, we didn't stay anywhere close to Disneyland. We stayed wherever. We rode to the place. And of course, like when you go places like that, the number one rule is we're going to eat before. Don't ask for shit. Don't touch shit. Nothing like that. Don't ask for no t-shirts. Don't ask for no Mickey ears. None of that. don't even think about it. Like, you already know what time it is. You better get your fill of these McDonald's sausage biscuits. So we, did our thing. And the one thing I used to always hate was those little snobby ass kids that were coming out of the goddamn Disneyland hotel with the fucking ears and the big ass ice cream cones and all that. Be like, man, you punk rocks, man, fuck y'all. Weird. Or even the people standing in line, like, I would just be salty. I didn't know why as a kid. I was just like, I guess it was jealousy, because it was like, man, I want one of the little Mickey ears, or I want one of the t-shirts, or I want to stay at the little thing, the Disney hotel with the characters and all that type of stuff. But I mean, I didn't really understand that as a kid. I was chilling. It was Disneyland. We got to ride the rides. It was whatever. What else did we? So we came back. Nothing too exciting. Like, we would go to Santa Cruz like for the day. But like when people would talk about, oh, we went on vacation, like we went out of town for like 5-6 days, like that definitely didn't happen. Like that was something that people did on TV. That wasn't. We wouldn't even think to ask for something like that. The only thing that I can think that would be comparable was Boy Scouts. That was the only thing that, for me, like where I would be out of town for an extended period of time, and that was maybe a week. Yeah. Was it camp? No, it wasn't Camp Anawana. That's Salute Your Shorts. Camp. I can't think of it. It's in Sacramento and Roseville somewhere. Camp Padawan? No, Padawan. Jesus Christ. I'm still on May the 4th be with you. Padawan. I can't think of the name of it. But we would go for like a week. That was, I mean, again, it wasn't vacation. It was like summer camp. Yeah, I didn't really do vacations. And it was weird because when I met my wife, she would ask, we were talking about it. We were exchanging vacation stories. Because she would always ask, and I was ignorant ass, half hood. Oh, let's go here. Man, don't do that shit. Fuck, I would stay at Sac. And she would just kind of look at me, and she would never really like get on me about it. But I've realized very quickly that my life experience and her life experience were two different things. Because we got to talking about Disneyland. Because she'd asked me, like, have you ever, like, been on trips or anything? And I told her the story I just told you guys about Disneyland. And she was like, oh, for real? Every time we went, we stayed at the Disney Hotel, and we had breakfast with the characters. And I was like, I fucking hated you as a kid. Like, I hated you. You guys just looked like you were just having so much fun, and it was so amazing. And then there was just us with our water bottles and the big-ass purse and shit. And still smelling like sausage biscuits. But when we had first started dating, she had took me to this thing. I don't know if you guys have heard of it before. It's called a timeshare, where you pay money to a place that you don't live at, and you get to go there. I know, right? It blew my mind. I was like, she asked me if I had ever been to a timeshare, like if I knew what one was. I was like, yeah, of course. I was like, that's the thing where you sit through the seminar for like an hour or two, and then they give you like a free trip somewhere. And she was like, wait, what? I was like, yeah. I was like, who buys those? She's like, well, my dad did. I was like, get out of here. For real? And she was like, yeah. So we had ended up, I can't remember the name of it, but we went to San Juan Capistrano. I'll never forget. This was my first vacation. Like we went to the timeshare. We drove down there. Google got us lost. It was horrible. Cause I'm excited, but I'm trying to play it cool because I've never been. I don't know what to expect. I don't even know what a timeshare is. I I thought it was like a house or something, or I didn't know what to expect. So I'm already trying to trying to hide my excitement. So we get there, we pull up, and it's valet parking. So I'm like, oh shit, look at me. Started from the bottom, now we here. So we pull up, a little valet. They have private parking spots, so you're assigned a parking spot. So we pull up, get in our little assigned parking spot, come back in. The lady at the desk is beyond nice. Hey, how you doing? Welcome back. Hello. Mr. and Mrs. Sav, okay, this is your room, wooty whoop. So I'm like, oh, okay, but what I didn't know was that the timeshare is within a resort. It's not even like a hotel, or I guess some of them might be houses. That might be a completely different one. The one that we were at, your room is on this resort thing. So the difference between a resort and a hotel is just the building. You maybe have a pool or whatever. A resort, there's different amenities. It looks fancier, we'll say. A hotel is A resort is ooh. So we get our room. She shows me there's a game room. They've got ping pong. What's the little thing? Foosball. They've got vending machines, laundry rooms, the whole nine. I'm floored. I'm like, okay, this is a win. I can get used to this. The only thing that tripped me out was at nighttime. I could hear this crashing noise, because she's like, oh, I'm like, what is that noise? Like, how do you turn that off? She's like, oh, it's the ocean. Like, that's the noise it makes. And I was like, what? I was like, bro, it sounds like a fucking building is falling. Like, why is that so loud? And why does it sound like it's in the room? And she was like, because it's quiet at nighttime, fool. Like, the beach is right there. Now, remember, it's dark. Like, it's dark, dark. So you can't see anything past, I don't know, 20, 30 yards. So I'm just like, okay, whatever. I'll try to deal with it. So we're in our little, and again, the room was it was like a studio. It had had a refrigerator, a stove, couches. It had damn, I'm sorry. It had two different defined areas. So there was your living room, and there was a separate room was the bedroom. It was really a little beachy thing. It had the little seashells and those light blues and pastels and stuff. It was cool. I'm so sorry. I got that shit. So the next day we wake up, bam. Morning comes, I go out to look out the window, and the fucking beach is right there. It's literally on the other side of the street. You could throw a rock from the balcony and it would land in the ocean. So I was like, oh, what? So now I'm really on my, what's my girl's name? On my Iggy Azalea, on my I'm so fancy. Because again, I'm from South Sacramento. I ain't barely been on vacation before, and this is what it's hitting for. I was like, oh yeah, we could do this. This is what's up. So we leave, and it just so happens the day that we were there, it was the National Paddleboard Championship or something. Paddleboard being the one where you stand up on the board and you paddle. But it was far though, bro. It was you had to run 50, 60 yards to the water with your board. You had to get in the water, go out to this buoy that had to be 150 yards out, and then go the course was a mile or something. But running a mile and paddling a mile are two completely different animals. And you would see people get out to the first buoy and they would just turn around and come back. They would just be like, I'm not even rocking. Some people would get about halfway. It was a trip. It was really exciting though. It was cool. They had sponsors and stuff. There was thousands of people out there, so it was cool. It was a nice little, added experience. Then what did we do? We rented bikes. We rented the Debo bikes, and we're sliding up and down the beach. I'm always gonna ask, "Do you know how to ride a bike?" Like, what? Do I know how to ride a bike? Yes, I know how to ride a bike, and I also know how to swim, sweetheart. Like, some stereotypes are just wrong. But yeah, we kicked it with the Devos. Did the little paddleboard thing. We ended up going to a really nice Mexican restaurant that night. It was, well, let me take that back. It was different because we'd never been there. It was like the fancy Mexican food where like you get nachos and they have like 10 chips with like everything on one chip. It was that kind of Mexican restaurant. I mean, it was cool though. And I think that's when I got the bug. Because before, in my mind, like vacationing was something that rich people do. Like I'd never even looked up how much it was to get a rental car, or how much a hotel was, or how much flights were. And once you start, you realize how it's surprisingly cheap to rent a car, rent a hotel. I mean, the way my parents described it to me, they made it seem like it was thousands of dollars to do all this. But, I mean, again, that just wasn't their thing. Like, they weren't into doing that, which is cool. So, after this, we come back, and this is when we still had Petey. That's how long ago that was. So we come back, and now I got the bug. And now I'm trying to go anywhere and everywhere. The next place we went after San Juan was, we did the timeshare in Vegas. We did that. We flew to Washington twice for 2 different weddings. We flew to Houston for the last cruise we went on. Wait, where did we go? Oh, okay. See, I'm like the little gnome in Travelocity. I've been everywhere, man. So after San Juan Capistrano, we decide, well, hey, let's go on a cruise. Because there was another couple that said they had been on a cruise. Shout out to Dumpster's Junk Removal. We went on the cruise with them. And they were like, oh, well, let's go to Ensenada. Because Ensenada is like the booze cruise. That's the party cruise. Because we went on Carnival. And at the time, let's see, I think for a room with a window for a 3-day was like $400? Something like that. Yeah, it was below $500. For both people, it's less than $1,000. 3-day cruise, leaves out of Long Beach. If you've never been on a cruise, or if you don't know, or if you're thinking about going, that's always the one I suggest for people to go on. It's a nice little baby cruise because you leave on a Friday. So you leave on a Friday, you probably leave at about 11 in the morning. You're at sea the whole day Friday. Saturday morning, bam, you wake up in Ensenada. Sunday, it's a sea day, and you're back Monday morning, just in time to catch the traffic. But yeah, it's the only thing about that one was that it was hot in a motherfucker because it was the summertime. So we had left Bakersfield, it was hot as hell. But we get down there because again, I don't know. I've never even been on a boat. Like I've been on like, what are those things? I've been on the little metal ones with the little motor in the back. I've been on one of those, like the little 2-3 man deal. I've been on the bigger kind of power boats with like the bathroom on it, but like I've never been on a ship. I've been on a boat, never been on a ship. And I'm gonna tell you guys a secret, but you guys can't tell nobody. And we're savages, so we're not gonna tell nobody's business because we're not chatty patties. I'm scared of heights sometimes. like deathly afraid, like unreasonably afraid for some reason. I don't know what it is. Like heights, it just messes with me. I don't know. Um, my wife loves to tell the story of when we were in San Juan Capistrano. I couldn't walk over the footbridge. Like I did, but I had to hold on to the railing. She's like, "What, you scared?" I was like, "I have this unrational fear that like the bridge is gonna collapse, like while I'm standing on it." Like, I don't know why. I don't know where this came from. It was at the time. It was like a crippling fear. I just could not do it. I could do it. Like I could walk across the bridge and I could talk to you, but like I would be sweating. I would just be in my mind. I would just be like, please, Lord, don't let this be the time that the bridge falls. I I don't know why. I never had any issues with bridges as a kid. Or something. I don't know. It was weird. Um, so so when we're going to get on the boat now, mind you, my first thought was, I'm not getting on no boat. Last time black people got on the boat, we didn't have a return ticket. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be fine. It's a boat. And then so I had to do my research. So I'm looking at like the size of the boat and statistics on how often boats sink and all that type of stuff. And one of the pictures I looked at, it showed a picture of the Titanic, and then in comparison, it showed a picture of the boat that we were on, and the boat that we were on is like 3 times as big. So I'm like, okay, I'm starting to feel a little better. And then my wife kind of reminded me that there's no icebergs in the Pacific Ocean. So I was like, okay, I feel even better now. Okay, that's not a problem. I'm like, well, what about the boat sinking in general? And she's like, fool, the boat's not going to sink, you dummy. Like, just get your ass on the boat. So we're walking up to get on the boat, and there's probably 9 stories of rooms on the boat. So you got to walk up 9 stories. Granted, it's not at the same time, it's at an incline, and they probably start you off at about 4. Like maybe they start you like on the 4th story. You only have to walk up like maybe 2 or 3. But I'm tripping because I'm like, this is a big ass boat. Like, I'm high up here, man. Like this is a trip. And at the time, I was still drinking, so that added a whole nother. That added a whole nother element to it. But sidebar. Now I'm not condoning this. I'm not saying that you should do this, but alcohol on cruise ships is grossly overpriced. Like 200-300% markup. I think a canned 12-ounce Budweiser was like $10 or something like that. So me being the person I am, because this is our first cruise, so I didn't really know the rules or regulations. We brought a little bottle, a little something, a little ditty juice, and we would put it in our bag. And there may or not have been some herbs in my bag. I don't remember. I'm losing my memory in my old age. And as we were embarking on our trip, one of the gentlemen, the porters, it was like, "Hey, you guys need to check in your bag, this and this." And so he asked, "Do you have any alcohol or anything else in your bag?" And I mean, I'm not the hoodest dude in the world, but I mean, like, I know the beginning to the scam when I hear it. And so he's like, "Hey, do you have anything in your bag?" I was like, "Why, is there anything we need to know?" He's like, "Yeah, well, if you have alcohol in your bag, like, they're going to search your bag. Like, they send it to the x-ray machine, and they'll confiscate it if you have alcohol in your bag." And I said, "Okay." He's like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "So, where's the hook at? Like, come on, bro. I know what time it is. So, how much is it?" He's like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "How much is it to get our bag to the room?" He does the look around. He's like, $20. I was like, bet. Gave him 30. He was like, "Yeah, we'll just take your bag straight to your room." Whoop, whoop, whoop. I was like, "That's what's up, player." So we get to it before we even, because we still had to do some, you still had to do some other stuff. You had to show me your ID, stand in this line. When we get to our rooms, our bags are already there. So we we're popping bottles. We're in here burning big everything. So I felt like a little Pirates of the Caribbean. We done smuggled some stuff onto the ship and everything. But so yeah. Ooh, that hurt. So I'm sorry. I got to do it again. So out here, the platforms where the bus stops are at in Okanda are it's a raised plastic platform. So a lot of times people will bend these corners thinking that they're going to cut the corner short, and they hit the bus stop things. It's for like their ramps for handicapped people and stuff like that. It makes it a lot easier than trying to come off the street. And people don't pay attention, and this guy just ran over it and knocked his whole little Prius loose. But okay, I'm gonna pay attention. We're back to business. So we get on the cruise ship, and again, it's only $1,000, and this is for one of more the less the more inexpensive rooms. If you wanted to get like a room with a balcony, or like I forget what they're called. It's not a studio. I can't even think of it, but it's like it's a player ass room. If you go to Ensenada and you spend maybe $700 for your room, $800, you'll get a balcony, you'll get an open floor plan. It'll look like a hotel room on the ship for a couple extra dollars, which is why a lot of people like the Ensenada one, because if you spend a couple dollars, you can be a boss on there. But I digress. We get on the ship, like I said, pop a couple bottles. They have some little entertainment. They have stuff on the ship. It was not at all what I expected. Not anywhere close. I'm expecting just old people and it's boring and blah blah blah. Nah, it was live, because Carnival is more for younger people, and by younger people I mean people under 45. So it was live. People are drinking and running around, having a good time. Blah, blah, blah. There's 3 or 4 different pools. There's a casino. There's a gym. There's places for the kids. They have activities, like they had a Clue game hunt. They have a couples game. Oh, there's all types of stuff. It was not only was it worth the money, but I felt silly in the moment, being like, why didn't I ever do this before? Like, why didn't I ever think to? But I didn't know anyone who did it, so I mean, I couldn't have known. But let's see, first day was kind of rough. I had a couple drinks, and I had my Dramamine, but it was rough. I had to take some of the magic herbal medicine, because I was fucked up. Like, I wasn't bad until I looked at the water and you could see the water moving. That's what kind of made me nauseous. But I took the little Dramamine. I was cool. I realized drinking and Dramamine don't mix, because Dramamine will make you sleepy, and alcohol, like, it was bad. But the next day, I battled back like a champ. We go ashore, and we're in Ensenada. Bam. So, I'm like, all right, this what's up. We're in Mexico. Whoop, whoop, whoop. The first thing we see when we get off, my man, I feel like I had to have already told y'all about this. How do we not? Well, I digress. We get off the ship, and they have people, our little liaison on the boat, that he's giving us the rules and regulations. He's like, don't go here, don't go there. He basically tells us to stay within the first 3 blocks of the where you can see this particular restaurant. He's like, stay within these first 3 blocks. Don't go past these 2 streets. So everyone's like, yeah, okay, whatever. Well, right as he says that, a car full of the policia pull up, and it was probably 12 guys on a truck, masked faces with M16s, just in traffic. And everyone kind of looked, and he was like, yeah, so like I said, you might want to stay within these certain streets. And we were like, yeah, you know what, you're right. We are going to stay within these little certain streets. So that was definitely a culture shock. Because, I mean, the police out here, like, yeah, they have guns, yeah, they have whatever, but you just don't see them with M16s just posted in the back of a truck. That was different. So he lets us out, And everyone's like, oh, where's Papa's and Beer at? And he was like, well, you can go to Papa's and Beers, or you can go to my cousin Tito's. We're like, well, what's the difference? He's like, well, Papa's and Beers are going to charge you $8 for a beer. And my cousin Tito's are going to charge you $1. So we all make adult decisions. Everyone decides they're going to go to Papa's and Beers because cousin Tito's is whatever. So my wife and I were like, well, fuck it. Let's go to cousin Tito's. Let's see what that's hitting for. So we get there, and who do we see? We see our little liaison guy. So we pull up to the bar, like, hey, my man sent us so he can get whatever hookup he's going to get. Boy, when I tell you, my little Mexican hospitality is something else, boy. We must have ordered, I can't even remember exactly what it was. I know she had a couple margaritas, I had a couple beers, I had some nachos, tacos, some other shit. Our total, wait. When she got her margarita, the lady makes the margarita, she takes a sip, and my wife's like, it's okay. The lady said, what's the problem? She's like, it's not really that strong. It's not? She gets the bottle of tequila, starts pouring it into the margarita, and says, tell me when to stop. 2-3 seconds goes by. My wife's like, okay. Takes another drink. It's like, ooh, shit. That was strong. Our grand total was $8 for nachos. What was it? Nachos, tacos, I think like some chicken or something. 2 margaritas, 3 or 4 beers. $8. I was like, boy, if you don't give them this $20-something, let's get up out of here. And they looked, and it's always weird because, I mean, again, there's a stereotype black people don't tip, which is, I get it. But I'm trying to personally break that stereotype. When we gave her that $20-something, she just looked at us and was like, it's always the same look, too. The same look of kind of like confusion is like, is this a test? Like, are they doing this on purpose to see, like, if I give them the money back? So we go there. We go to Papa's and Beers afterwards. And it was exactly what he said. Overpriced drinks. And they have this thing with, like, the whistle. Where, like, they get people to stand up on the table and dance around and blow the whistle. And there's some guy at Papa's and Beers that gets to grope your significant other. Like, he was rubbing on titties and grabbing ass cheeks. And I was like, all that for a $2 shot? Like, hey, I guess what happens in Mexico stays in Mexico. But yeah, it was the only thing I didn't like in Ensenada was the kids and the chicle. Like, that ruined my vacation. Was like, cause I mean, I'd heard stories of people being like, oh, the little kids sell gum and they sell pencils and they'll run up on you. It's not reality until it happens to you. And when I saw that, I was just like, oh, this is why I don't like vacation. Because it reminds me that while I'm out here vacationing, having a good time, like, this is people's lives. Like, there's people who really, through no fault of their own, just don't got it. They were just born on the wrong side of an imaginary line. And that's going to make life a little bit more difficult for them. Because I don't like carrying cash. Because I just give it away. Like, we've had this conversation before. I get weird about people asking for stuff and money. It says, I don't know. I might not be here tomorrow. So me giving you this $5, like, to me, it's $5. To you, it's everything. But I mean, I might not be here to do it. I don't know. But the point being, the little kid, or the children, were like, oh, chicle. So I was like, here's $5. And again, I'm not thinking, because the conversion rate is what, 20 to 1? So I gave you, what, $5? I really gave you 20? So, wait. Oh, my God. I can't count. No, it was really 100. Oh, shit, yeah. So I give him the $5, and they look at me. They look at me, look at the money, look at me, look at the money. Run off to mom's. So they run back to their mom, show them the $5. She looks at me and tells them, go back. Now I've got a crowd of like 10 kids just running at me. So I just start giving them all dollar bills. Here you go, here you go. And then they keep trying to give me the gum. I'm just like, nah, man, it's cool. Like, just chill out. So we ended up, we get back on the boat. Uh, one of the funniest things ever in life happened. We're on the boat. We're drunk as hell. We've been out all day. On the cruise ships, the favorite place to be is the Lido deck. That's where all the food and entertainment stuff is at. It had to be like 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night. And there's this drunk dude there, drunk Russian guy. I'll never forget. It was him, his friend, this girl. It was the guy, two guys, two girls. The drunk Russian guy, the older guy, was just unmercifully talking shit to this girl that he was with. And he was just like, some, shut the fuck up, bitch. And his friend is like, why are you talking to her like this? And he says the funniest shit ever. He tells him, look, I brought her on vacation with me to have a good time. Not for her to sound like my fucking wife. And I was like, wait a minute. You took your side bitch on vacation with your homeboy? Oh my God. You, sir, are a man amongst boys. Like, what? You took your side bitch on vacation with you? But I mean, again, it's not a... I mean, it's a couple dollars. But I mean, just the fact that he said it, and he was drunk as shit, too. He was, like, drunk as shit. Like, couldn't sit up drunk. Like, but I mean, I loved it. I enjoyed every moment of it. That made the cruise. We got back the next day after our little sea day, whatever, Cape Fit. But yeah, man, that shit had me dying. Like, that was what the whole trip was worth it, just to hear him say, "You act like my wife." Oh my goodness. Well, at least I can end on a high note, because I sure was sad. I was supposed to be in Puerto Rico. So yeah, good times. I think that's what we might do next time. We'll do a vacation episode. Talk about all the fun stuff that happens on vacation. Because yeah, I definitely did not get to all of what I was going to. So yeah, big changes coming here at the Best Day Ever podcast. I listened. Oh yeah, that reminds me. Questions, comments, concerns. Feel free to hit me at the Best Day Ever podcast at gmail.com. I do listen to what you guys say. I do read your emails. And I actually agree with you guys. I want to... there was a young lady that I was going to start this with that had disappeared for a while. But I just found her. And we might have to bring her back for a guest spot so we can laugh at some jokes. That's not my business. Yeah, that's up in the air for right now. We have some very interesting things lined up for that, hopefully. But yeah, that's still up in the air. I will let you know. I think we're going to have an episode next week. I don't know. I've got to get a hold of Miss Lovely. She's a busy young lady. As usual, Tru Sav Comedy, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Thank you for everyone who gave a suggestion about the new podcast cover art, because I am very indecisive. I can't make decisions. I will just use all of them, and we'll just swap them out from day to day if it was up to me. Let's see. Wow. That's always a good idea, doing 80 down the street on a motorcycle. All right, whatever. If nobody told y'all, I believe in every single one of y'all. I want nothing but the best for you and only you. I love y'all so much. I miss talking to y'all so much. I'd really be sitting at the house all the time like, damn, I cannot wait to come talk to them on Tuesday and tell them all the crazy stuff that's been going on. But y'all already knew that. Please don't forget, tell your loved ones you hug them. Or tell your loved ones you hug them. Tell your loved ones you love them. Give them a hug. Call that person you haven't talked to. Let it go. Bury the hatchet, please. Because you never know what time we got. Oh my gosh. Ooh, I can't get yesterday back. I might not get tomorrow, so that makes the day the best day ever. I've got some more drawings and stuff for you that I'm gonna put up, and I'm gonna put up that video of dude with the house coat and the dude with no feet, so y'all don't think I'm lying. All right, holla at your boys. See you guys next week. Peace.